Hello, I am very excited to share a new resource that IDRC has. These are called our heat safety kits, and these are available to our member states. We don't have tons, but we have some for each one of our member states, and then they are available to purchase at cost to any migrant ed state, or also to our member states if they need additional than what we can provide. So these are specifically, we used to do hygiene bags, student supply bags, and right now we're really looking at these heat safety kits. So I want to walk you through what they are, and if you had one, how you would explain to a family how to use the resources included. So here's a picture of some of the things that are in there. It's a small bag. We usually send them out in about 50 a piece in the boxes that we send. These include a QR code that I'll show you where it's going to take. We have a bandana, we have cooling towels, we have 4 electrolyte packets, a thermometer, and an ice pack. And so we're really concerned with how many of our farm workers are really impacted throughout the year by dangerous weather, by just a lot of heat. And it seems to be something that's happening more and more. And we felt like we really wanted to do something to help. We realize this is not an end all. This is just a way to kind of have some discussions and have some resources that families could be made aware of, and then they can access those in the future however they would like. So heat illness, we know, can set in really quickly. In 10 to 15 minutes, your body can overheat and you just can't cool yourself. So it leads to muscle cramps, spasms, heavy sweating, weakness or tiredness, abnormal pulse rate, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, headache, confusion, fainting, loss of consciousness, or even death. The problem is a lot of these things that happen, you don't notice it's happening until later on. You might have some cramps in the evening. Not all of these symptoms do farm workers always, or any of us really realize that it's a case because we got overheated. And so it can be extremely dangerous. And so many places in the country, workers will work between 80 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And that will just be the normal weather that they're working in. In some places we've had really have to have extreme caution because they're between 90 to 103 degrees. And it's absolutely dangerous when it's 103 to 125. And so it's, these working conditions that workers have all the time are something that we really want to make sure that we're having on our radar. So we know that here's a couple articles that were just, really talking about heat and the threat to farm workers and climate change. Whether you believe it or not, there's definitely, climate is changing, and there was a lot more heat this year. And so here's just a little graph that's showing, a map of the United States that's showing where there were an increase in total heat wave days. And it's most of our states have seen some increase, and you can see in the reds, there's been kind of an extreme increase. So heat-related illness is a leading cause of weather-related deaths in the US, and heat illness has a disparate impact on communities of color, low-income earners, and those who work outdoors. So the families we work with, the youth we work with, definitely fall in these, areas of vulnerability. The typical farm worker is Mexican-born, performs long hours of work, and earns well below the poverty line, and often doesn't have health insurance. So we really want to start having discussions with workers on what they can do and what they can do in a real life situation. Many of them do not get to take the breaks that they need, do not get the water that they need. And they've seen that prolonged repeated exposure to extreme temperatures can lead to long-term chronic kidney disease. And so this can really be a problem. So in the bag, we have something called Trioral. This was approved by the World Health Organization to be used during physical activity. And so physical activity, and like it says here, extreme activity, where workers, maybe they've had a day in the field and they're not sure if they're able to get hydrated again, and they have to just keep working days and days afterwards. These have the hydration salts, the rehydration salts that they need. And so we have 4 of those. I need to taste them, but I've heard that they taste almost like drinking ocean water. So maybe they mix it with something, or just really seeing the difference in how they feel will hopefully help them get over. There is no artificial colors, no flavors or preservatives. So it could be put in something else, but the idea is this is the base of the salts that they need. We also have an ice pack that's included. It's a small and kind of compact one that could fit inside of a hat. And one side has like a flannel backing, and the other side is the actual plastics that's kind of pliable. It says something interesting to know that could be shared with families. And if in the case of heat exhaustion. One way that if you were to go to the doctor or go to emergency, that they actually use is to lower your temperature with a special cooling blanket. And then they also apply ice packs to the groin, to the neck, to the back, to the armpits. So I realize we're not giving him enough to be able to do that in each one, but it's raising awareness that that could possibly be something that you could use. And then this could be put, in the back of with a bandana or something. It could be tied to put kind of towards the back of the neck, or, in those other areas mentioned. We also have some cooling towels. These are kind of interesting technology. They look very simple when you look at them and you kind of wonder, how does this work? But if you water them, you put them in the water, maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and wring them out, it does stay way cooler, and they use evaporation to draw water away from the body, and they do stay cool for a while. So it suggested that they actually put them on their necks, do the circulation, and what's happening to help someone cool down a lot quicker. We also include a bandana, which is always a favorite. It can be used, inside a hat. It can be used for whatever purpose they want. So we'll include those in there. We also have a thermometer to measure temperature in emergencies. And the way that it's supposed to be used, you basically put it under the tongue, wait 60 seconds and remove and read. And then it's kind of a discardable thing. And the way to use it, there's a little screen at the end that kind of has a bunch of different buttons, they're super tiny, but it says here, the lights will light up for the temperature, and where the last light is lit, that will be where the temperature is. So this one goes right here, it's on 98.6, that was 0.8, that's 0.4, 0.2, then the temperature would be 98.6. So that's how you can teach them to read that. So there is also a Scan Me little card inside of the bag, and that just takes them to our Welcome to Migrant Ed website. And let me show you real quick what that looks like. That is found on our website. And we have, there is a translation widget at the top so that families can kind of translate it to whatever language they want. We have findhelp.org on there, which is good to find resources in your community, looking for the local school, health centers, Head Start, some English resources, and then also our student learning portal. So this is something that you can definitely share with them. So we really hope that these tools are helpful for you. These bags will start being available. They're available in October, and we'll have a link if people need to order more, but our member states can have access to this, and we hope to kind of share. But we're hoping that as you get these bags, you don't just hand it to them and say, hey, here's this random little bag, that you explain what the purposes of these are as kind of a way to train and provide some more information. And then we can also mention that many of these things can just be found on Amazon, or we can provide you a direct link if you want to know where they can get that. So anyway, we hope this is helpful, and it is something that we are going to be offering here very soon. Or if you're getting this video, you might already be getting them, and we are suggesting that you learn this before you start sharing it with them. So we appreciate your time. Thank you.